And this, kiddies, is why you don't block the stairs. You never know when a German's going to show up and shoot you in the face with a Panzerschreck. Now, while doing a bit of research and trying to ascertain if there was indeed a Battle of Arbiter in World War II, I uncovered what could be one of the more unbelievable war stories that I have ever heard. And I'm not really one for hyperbole. This is the story of RAF Sergeant Jack Worsfold. On May 3rd, 1944, Sergeant Worsfold and his Lancaster crew were flying a bombing mission over the skies of Arbiter, trying to weaken German tank crews that had training depots in Arbiter. It was just prior to the D-Day invasion. So on this mission, Jack's Lancaster, they had just bombed their target when they were actually attacked by a Messerschmitt Me-110. The Lancaster was pretty banged up. It was pretty much critically damaged. So they were about to order the crew to abandon the aircraft, but unfortunately the plane actually broke apart. This is where things get really crazy. The plane broke apart, trapping Sergeant Worsfold inside the tail section, where he was the tail gunner. Jack actually plummeted over 7,500 feet to the ground. He was trapped inside the tail section, did not deploy a parachute. He was crashing through power lines and fir trees, and he actually came to rest near the village of Arbiter. And so you can only imagine that Sergeant Worsfold was too badly injured to escape the wreckage on his own. He actually had quite a few broken ribs, one broken leg, but for falling that far, you're kind of amazed that somebody could withstand that. But fortunately, he was rescued by a French doctor that took him in and actually cared for his wounds, at least for a time. He was later captured by the Germans, and he was taken away to spend the rest of his war in a prisoner camp. Now, in doing a little more research, I actually found that Sergeant Worsfold survived the war and only recently passed away in 2006. This is an Iron Man. This guy was a true hero, and he had balls made of steel. Now, I thought that was just an amazing story, and I just wanted to share it with you because I stumbled across all this information while I was doing research to do the commentary on this particular video. And I thought you'd enjoy it. I thought you'd find it amazing just like me. Now, as you can see, this is not what one would say is a historically accurate battle. Even though I led off this conversation with a bit of a history lesson, this is not so. As you can see, that this is actually a battle that's taking place between the Soviets and the US. That never happened. Suspend your disbelief just a little bit for me, if you would. Just do me that favor. You can see we're trying to push onto some of these farmhouses on the other side of the bridge. Once you take the bridge, you can make the final push towards the different farmhouses. Problem was, we were having a lot of problems making headway because we were just getting ripped apart when we were making the push on these final farmhouses. They had a guy in there, which was he was wielding basically one of the, if you could say there is an OP weapon in this game, from my experience, this is absolutely one. You can see the PPSH. That gun is ridiculous, and you're gonna see a little taste of that here in a little bit when I manage to take one for myself and give it a test drive. You can see that I'm actually pushed onto a different farmhouse. The objectives actually go two different directions, and depending on which side you go to, all you have to do is capture that last objective. Then you can push on to their final base. So it doesn't matter whether you choose the right one or choose the left one. As long as you finish it off, that's all that matters. So I started spawning here, trying to make some headway at this particular location. However, you started to see more and more of their spawn showing up here as well. So we didn't have as big a success as possible. And believe it or not, we actually did end up making our final push through the most contested farmhouse, the one that we were trying to get in the beginning. Now, I'm still really enjoying Heroes and Generals. Like I said, it's a breath of fresh air to me. Given that I do miss all these World War II shooters, and this is kind of fitting a nice little niche for me. And it's given me my fix. I really do hope that, you know, more and more bigger developers are going to start thinking about returning to the genre, but we'll see. I know that so many people are incredibly excited about Black Ops 3. Not to say that I'm not, although I was a little let down to see that it wasn't World at War II. I'll survive, though, no big deal. I'm sure I'll be playing it, I'm sure I'll pre-order it, no problem. So you can see this is me going back to that original farmhouse, because we said, well, look, we're not getting anywhere. We're gonna have to nut up, and we're gonna have to take these farmhouses. Again, the problem was, as you can see, that the guy named Axel Hilt with the PPSH was just annihilating people. And even I, not being one to say that people are cheating, the guy would just, you had no chance. And so I decided that, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'm going to have to put a concerted effort in towards taking that guy out, because we were having some real difficulty. And there he goes. Down goes Frazier. This is where things also get really interesting, and then I'm able to pick up his gun. I'm like, I guess we're going to have to see what this gun's all about, because it seemed like that guy was just really good. And so I wanted to see what kind of success I could have with the PPSH, because I personally don't have it yet. And as you can see, works pretty well. I just mowed through those people like they were nothing. So I can kind of see why he was having all that success. This gun is ridiculous, and if you could say that this particular game doesn't have, in my personal opinion, it doesn't have a lot of weapon balancing issues, but once I started playing with the PPSH, I started to see that I might have spoken a little too soon, because it is this thing is a beast. So we end up taking back the farmhouse that we lost. We actually were getting pushed back towards our last objective. So we wanted to take back this one, then we had to cross the bridge again, then we had to take the next farmhouse, and then we could push on the final destination, which was the train depot. So you can see I decided I'm not getting any help. Teams are just full of Muppets in this game. I mean, people, what are you going to expect of people playing a free game? You're going to get some people that really care about it, and you're going to get some people that are just goofing off and seeing what kind of stupid shit they can get into. But that's okay, you know, it takes all kinds. So here we go on my little rampage, still going with the PPSH. It's got a huge clip. It does quite a bit of damage. Of course, you're not going to have any real success, as you can see here. No range on it whatsoever. You're gonna be lucky if you can take people out over the equivalent of about 20-30 yards. It just sprays everywhere. But up close, there's no better gun than this PPSH. So I'm trying to hold people back from this bridge to keep them from taking our side, and they just keep coming. God knows what my team is doing. I've got one guy way out there, and he's really the only one that I'm seeing that's even pushing on the bridge. Again, these are big issues with this game, and it can be pretty frustrating, but right now I don't really know anybody that's playing this game. So I'm not going to get a lot of people that are on my friends list that are going to be able to help me out with doing anything. So we're getting pushed back. You can see we've got two more objectives. I don't even know why I dropped the gun I'd been destroying with it. So I get that grenade off and boom, take out the guy with the PPSH again. And now I figure that I've got to try to make my way across. Unfortunately, I don't make it too far, but that's okay. So I know that the world of first-person shooter fans has really kind of been shaken up by the whole announcement of Black Ops 3. How are you guys feeling about that? I said earlier that I was a little upset and I was a little dejected knowing that there wasn't going to be another World War II game, but at the same time, I am excited about Black Ops 3. I just kind of am curious how other people are feeling. I know there's a lot of young guys that watch my videos, as well as a few older folk, and I wanted to see kind of how the distribution is. How are you guys feeling about that? Are you excited? Are you already on the pre-order bandwagon? Or are you wanting to kind of see a little bit more? Are you wanting to kind of learn how they're going to be going about it? I know the biggest issue right now is, are they going to throw in the exosuits? Are there going to be all the double jumps and everything in Black Ops 3, just like Advanced Warfare? I don't know. I don't know how excited people are for that. I know personally, and as you could probably tell, I'm not a huge fan of the whole future shooter thing that it seems to be so prevalent now. It seems to me like the whole future shooter thing is kind of getting played out the same way as the World War II shooters were way back when every game that came out is like, oh god, how many times do we have to do D-Day? How many times do we have to fight this battle? Oh my god, every single game that comes out, you've got to do the same stuff over and over and over. Oh my god. So, I think it's kind of the same thing. People are kind of feeling the same way about it. You can see me holding off these guys. See, this gun is just a beast. there was nobody that stood a chance. Just mowing them down. The only guy that takes me out is the guy that actually also has one of the PPSH. So that should tell you something. But back to it though, is that are you excited about things? Are you ready to jump on the bandwagon sight unseen, or are you kind of still wanting to play it cool and see what Black Ops 3 is gonna bring you? That's kind of what I'm wanting to do. I'm sure I'll buy it. I'm sure I'll play it. I'm sure people on YouTube will want me to play it, and I'll probably do it out of mere curiosity, if anything. But I will be a little upset when I see the same old, I'll say the same old, I see the Advanced Warfare mechanics really kicking in. All the double jumps and laser beam weapons and all that stuff is just not gonna do it for me. I'll be honest. But the gameplay is actually coming to a close right now, and if you stuck with me this far, I really do appreciate it. We're taking this last little outpost here, and then is the final push, and you start to see their whole team empty out, so there's not much of a battle to close this thing out. But for those of you that have stopped by and watched the video with me and listened to the story, I hope you did enjoy it. It's maybe something new I can start doing. I know Frankie in 1080p does a lot of war stories, and I always enjoy those, and I'm a big history guy, so I could very easily supply some more history stories and war stories and anything people are interested in. If you've got another story that you want me to research and talk about, I'd be happy to do it as well. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll let you ride off into the sunset with me, and I hope you come back and see me for the next one. This has been your boy JumboBunny, and I am out of here, suckers.